Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into 5 completely distinct, absolutely fascinating developments happening all over the globe right now. From locking down our digital future to literally moving entire nations to higher ground, they actually all share one really powerful theme, and that's resilience. So let's just dive right in.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover quantum leaps, fueling a circular bioeconomy, securing water, Nehru's climate strategy, and finally, the future stars of Indian hockey.
All right, Section 1, Quantum Leaps and Building the Networks of Tomorrow.
So here's a huge question. How do we actually strengthen quantum networks over massive distances? Quantum communication relies on entanglement, right? It's this incredibly delicate state where particles are deeply connected. Think of it kind of like an invisible, super fragile thread connecting 2 tin cans. Stretch that thread too far across hundreds of miles, and, well, the thread snaps. Maintaining these links has been a literal technical nightmare. That is, until now.
Enter GCP, or General Concurrence Percolation. It's this brilliant new theoretical framework developed by the Bose Institute over in Calcutta. What GCP does is honestly practically magic for networking. It strengthens that ultra-fragile quantum connection over long distances, and the best part? It does it without needing to strip out any intermediate network nodes. It literally lowers the barrier for keeping the whole network stable.
What this means is real-world, long-distance quantum communication is suddenly highly efficient and way more resource-friendly. We're not just talking about chalkboard physics anymore, guys. This framework pushes us so much closer to a truly ultra-secure internet. We're talking about a future where your personal data, banking, everything could soon be practically unhackable. It's a real game-changer.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, fueling a circular bioeconomy with the Gobardan scheme.
So, we're shifting gears from digital innovation to massive physical infrastructure. Think about this number, 23,731 crore rupees. That is a jaw-dropping financial outlay just approved by the Union Cabinet for the Gobardan scheme, and it's scheduled to run all the way to 2036. This is a monumental, decade-long commitment to completely overhaul how India handles its waste and energy.
And here is the actual step-by-step reality of how they're doing it. Step 1, you gather up everyday organic waste, things like agricultural residue, cattle dung, municipal waste. Step 2, you run it through the Gobardan conversion framework. And Step 3, you produce incredibly valuable compressed biogas and organic manure. A fun little fact here, Gobar literally means cow dung in Hindi, and Dan means wealth. So yeah, they are quite literally turning poop into profit.
The ultimate ambition here is just massive. The goal is to increase domestic compressed biogas production nearly tenfold. That is the literal definition of a self-sustaining circular bioeconomy. It slashes waste, cuts down reliance on imported fuels, and feeds those sustainable resources right back into agriculture. It is honestly a masterclass in infrastructural resilience.
Let's hit Section 3, securing our water future with the MHRA Water Program.
Right, so just as we absolutely have to secure our energy, we have to secure our most vital resource of all, water. MHASA stands for the Mission for Advancement in High-Impact Areas. Operating under the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, this program is fully designed to drive solution-based research, and it officially partnered with the Ministry of Jal Shakti to launch the water program on June 1, 2026.
The sheer scope of what they are tackling here is incredible. As outlined in the Lok Sabha, they aren't just looking at, a glass of drinking water in isolation. They're targeting the entire ecosystem. We're talking human and ecological health, water quality, and tying it beautifully back into that circular economy we just talked about. They are basically building climate resilience and adaptation into the very foundation of this research.
Which brings us to Section 4, Nehru's Radical Climate Strategy, the ECRCP.
Now this is a really sobering question, isn't it? How do you actually fund an entire nation's relocation? The Republic of Nauru is facing a stark existential reality right now. Sea levels are rising aggressively, and for a low-lying island nation, this is not some distant threat for the year 2100. It is an immediate emergency. They have to move to higher ground. But generating the sheer volume of capital required to pull off something like that, it's a colossal challenge.
Usually in these situations, developing nations are forced to rely on traditional, debt-driven multilateral climate finance. And honestly, that often just saddles vulnerable countries with more crippling debt. Well, Nauru doesn't have time for that. They're taking a highly unconventional route, a citizenship by investment scheme. They are literally selling citizenship to international investors to urgently bypass those old models and generate capital right now.
This is the ECRCP, or the Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program. By offering citizenship to investors, they are raising capital that is exclusively earmarked for national relocation and adaptation efforts. It's an absolutely radical financial lever being pulled in the face of a true existential threat.
And the scale of this is staggering. The goal is 90%. They are aiming to relocate roughly 90% of Nauru's households and critical infrastructure to higher ground. Just imagine that for a second. 90% of your entire home country packing up and moving. It is an almost unprecedented logistical undertaking, and it's completely rethinking how we fund survival when the clock is ticking.
Finally, Section 5. The future stars of Indian hockey at the AHF Junior Asia Cup 2026.
From the resilience of an entire nation, we pivot to the athletic resilience of youth on the international stage. The Asian Hockey Federation Junior Asia Cup 2026 kicks off on August 30th over in Mochi, China, and it runs through a grueling, exciting 2 weeks until it wraps up on September 13th. Proudly representing India is a truly formidable 18-member junior women's squad, led by the inspiring captain Kaidam Shilema Chanu, and under the expert guidance of coach Tim White, these rising stars are going to be out there demonstrating some incredible grit. It's just a fantastic human reminder of the drive to excel and overcome challenges.
So as we've explored, resilience really does take many forms. We started with the mind-bending physics of the GCP protocol, moved through massive national biogas and water initiatives, witnessed an island nation's fight for its very survival, and ended with the fierce determination of young athletes. Together, all these stories paint a pretty vivid picture of a world creatively preparing for whatever tomorrow throws at us. Which leaves us with this final thought. From quantum breakthroughs in the lab to entire climate relocations in the Pacific, which of these innovations do you think will shape our future the most? It's a massive question to ponder. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack these incredible developments today. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.